Okay, we are back inside of the First Descendant. Now we are going to talk a little bit about Freyna, of course, because on the 10th there's going to be a big update involving Freyna. But I thought I would, basically check my stuff first, just to check my inbox, make sure everything is perfectly fine and in order. For those of you guys that don't know Freyna, she is one of the descendants. Okay, let's actually look at all of the descendants. Okay, Freyna, here we go. Now, Freyna is also getting an ultimate. So if you are going to purchase Freyna, you may actually want to wait, okay? Because she will be getting an ultimate. Let's go through her abilities real quick. Oh, and if you decide to buy anything from the game, or even if you don't, feel free to support the channel by clicking the link in the description, because I am a creator. I'm a content creator for the First Descendant, so actually supporting me on there helps the channel and helps me out. It doesn't cost you anything to support me, so feel free to check that out if you so wish. But let's get into Freyna's abilities. First, we will start with the passive. When an enemy with room 0 trauma dies, it generates a toxic puddle. Enemies standing on the toxin puddle receive room 0 trauma. Room 0 trauma inflicts damage over time and grants the toxic reaction effect to nearby enemies. Now, a lot of these will probably make sense later on. Venom trauma. Shoot a toxic bullet that deals damage to hit enemy. The toxic bullet explodes, creating a toxic puddle and granting the room 0 trauma effect to affected enemies. Room 0 trauma inflicts damage over time and grants the panic effect to nearby enemies. So for those of you guys that play Warframe, this is simple. This is basically kind of like toxic and heat, both in one. Because for those of you guys that don't know, heat inflicts the panic whenever they're on fire. So that's pretty cool. And if we look here, we see that when an enemy with room 0 trauma dies, it generates a toxic puddle. So basically it synchronizes with the first ability just perfect. Then we get on to the second ability, defense mechanism. Gains the effect of plague body armor, grants the room 0 trauma effect to enemy that attack you. Room 0 trauma inflict damage over time and grants the despair effect to nearby enemies. Now that's kind of interesting. Let's continue, shall we? Okay, this is called Putrid Venom. Throws a toxin to create a toxic swamp. Enemies affected by the toxic swamp receive the, you guessed it, room 0 trauma and venom injected effects. Enemies with the venom injected effect leave toxic footprints in their path. The toxic footprints grant the, you guessed it, room zero trauma effect to affected enemies. Room zero trauma inflicts damage over time and grants the putrid effect to nearby enemies. Oh, that's actually pretty crazy. Okay. Venom Baptism. Okay. Equips the unique weapon. It will be released when all bullets are consumed. Think of it as Wolfram's version of an exalted weapon. Okay. So that's pretty cool. Or a certain amount of time. Okay, so basically it's both time-based and exclusive weapon. It looks like at 10 seconds normally and at 30 seconds. I assume it's affected by duration. So that might be a thing. Enemies hit by the unique weapon receive the Room Zero Trauma effect. Room Zero Trauma effect inflicts damage over time and grants the Nightmare effect to nearby enemies. So this is actually pretty cool. She's actually entirely my type of Descendant. So I think I'm either going to, I don't know what I'm going to do. See, I don't mind supporting the, creators or anything. So, I could possibly buy her in the future, or I could just farm for her, then, farm for her ultimate, because presumably her ultimate will also be farmable. Because if we go over to, let's see, if we go over here, it's this way actually, and then we go all the way over to here and go to this lady right here. We talk to her, and then she actually lets us research stuff. Like Descendants, we can see what we need. Like, see, we want Ultimate Bunny. We see that we need all of this stuff in order to get Ultimate Bunny. So technically the Ultimate version just costs a lot more resources and time. You gotta grind a lot more, but they are earnable in the game technically. So keep that in mind. Gold, well, once you keep going in the game, gold won't really be a problem for you. The biggest hurdles will be getting the resources, because these aren't all guaranteed dropped resources, so you'll have to actually farm quite a bit. See, it tells you right there, if you click acquisition, where you can get the part you need from. Yeah, and I actually haven't got to the Hanged Man yet. I'm not far enough in the game. But yeah, again, I am a Descendant creator. There's a link in the description below. Feel free to become a supporter if you so wish. And let me know comment section below. Do you plan on buying Ultimate Freyna, or do you plan on farming for Ultimate Freyna, or are you not really, do you really not carry the way about Ultimate Freyna because you don't even use her as a Descendant? You rather use Bunny or Ultimate Bunny? Or are you just like, you know what? I'm done with this game. I spent my hard-earned money buying Ultimate Bunny, and then Ultimate Freyna comes out. So yeah, let me know your thoughts, okay? And with that said, I will catch you guys in the future. Later.